Yeah, I hit it now. All right, let me see. Make sure my screen is shared. And boom, there I go. Okay. All right. I think that's somebody drop off?
I think that was Rob. He came in and came out.
No, okay. All right. I'll catch him when he jumps back on. All right. So all right, like I was telling DP in the earlier, I told him that I had already done the video for the stuff that I'm looking at for the week. So if you want to go back and look at that, you're more than welcome to. I put in um international papers, so IP, uh Caterpillar, Moderna, and those are all downside. So then upside, I got um I got Amazon, got Meta, JP Morgan, and then I think that was it. I got a few others, but I don't, I'll actually put those. I'll probably put those out there later on. But think I want to look at NVDA too, and that's the one I really want to like kind of go over on the chart, and it's for a specific reason. So I'm gonna just talk about that one real quick, and then I'm gonna let DP hit this the Bitcoin stuff and crypto. Well, Bitcoin, and then then we'll go from there.
The
So, hmm?
really quick, I just wanted to say, so the only two I actually wanted to look at was Meta and NVIDIA too. Because
Oh,
NVIDIA,
okay,
if it falls through that 117, we could be looking at 114, 112.
okay, perfect. All right, give me a kiss. Love you. What you want to watch? Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go to NVIDIA real quick, like. All right. So what I got on here is the weekly chart, and I'm gonna kind of get rid of the moving averages. I was messing around with something else over the weekend. So all right. So I usually don't make a lot of changes to the chart. Hold on real quick. Hey Tavy, come close this door, please. All right. So I usually don't make a lot of changes to the chart, especially when I got something that's still intact. So if you look at this, I got a rising wedge on here, and this has been on here for quite a while now. And now all the like everything's kind of taking shape with this. So obviously we've kind of fallen out of that rising wedge. And now we're what about here? Like 120. Okay. So like you were saying, Rob, all right, that 116, 117-ish level, like once we get outside of that, the bottom is probably gonna fall out of this thing. So what I see happening, all right, let me see, not the 9, not the 21. There's one that's close. Okay, so that's where we're at, right? So we're sitting right here on the weekly 50. And once that breaks, sorry, my girl's yelling in the background. Please answer your sister. All right. So once that happens, yeah, the bottom is gonna fall out of this thing because no other support outside of that. So the next level down is probably gonna be like 110 and then 100 after that. So and considering the fact that SPY is on the downside right now, this is probably likely to happen um, relatively quick. So I would be paying attention to that, or you can wait to see if it goes back up here to 122.50, 125, and then catch a reject and let that run all the way down. But as long as not supply, but SPY cooperates and everything is moving to the downside, I think that's a legit move. But I'm not trusting NVIDIA to the upside until it gets over this support here and holds 125. So like for me, it would be all downside. You could look on the daily and kind of see something similar. So obviously you got support here at that same level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. It hit that level, bounced straight up. So if it gets below that, like I said, there ain't nothing stopping this until it gets to about 100.
You go to the 1 hour really quick.
All right.
Could you use this? Bring it in a little bit right there. So could you use this? I actually have a trend line, 3 touches. Do you see that? The long wick, the long bearish candle, and then where it is now. Is that valid? I guess that's my question. Is that trend line valid? Because all 3 of them are touching it right now. If it falls through there, I think it had like 114 next. I think it's what you got on there actually. 114.95. The next level if it falls through that trend line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is the big support right here. And you could probably go back a little further and see where, why that's a valid support. So, and this is from August. So boom, 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 boom. And now we're back down there again. Right. So I think that's I think this is a valid support level, just based off of all the price action that was in there during that time. So if this loses that, everything is gonna follow too. I think everything is gonna follow that move down, because it's not only the fact that that NVIDIA dropped, it's how it dropped. So if you look at the volume, you got almost a third more volume on a day, than it's had in honestly quite a while. So, and once we lost that, that momentum on Monday, and it dropped down 16%, it hadn't recovered. So now you're talking about Trump kind of getting involved and making life difficult for them, because if you notice, there was one day last week where all the semis went up except for NVIDIA. So, and they've had, bits and pieces of little runs. Like Friday, they went up to like 127 and 128, and then they rejected down. But until it gets to the point where it can get over that 125 mark right here and hold that, I'll just wait and pop shorts. That's just me. So I don't know if you see anything different.
I wonder if you
No,
put
I
an
think
order
I'm
block
tracking right
handle
there with you.
up there.
I can't hear you.
No, I was saying that that order block indicator, there's got to be an order block, a bearish order block in that 125 area.
Yeah, let's see. Let's look on
What time frame are you looking at, C?
I was just saying in general, there's got to be some on one of these time frames. There's got to be something up that way.
Oh, okay. I want you to check out this indicator too, D, if you got a chance, man.
Yeah, hold on, Rob. Yeah, it's right here on the 15-minute.
Oh yeah, see.
So, and this, if you look, this is where this thing started to kind of take a dump on Friday, right here, like anywhere between like 120, like 127. That's where everything started to take a dump, right here. So so that lines up with with those blocks, and it keeps dropping further and further. So Monday, if we're under this, then it's just going to keep dipping further. What you got, bro?
So add this really quick, D. Well, one, I don't know if you heard of it, but add this, and then I'm going to see if you understand it. The indicator is called the visible range volume profile.
Oh yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, you do use that one already?
Mm-hmm. You talking about this right here?
No, it's actually, it says the visible range volume profile is exactly what it says.
Visible. Hold on. Yeah, it's the
Yes,
same.
that.
It's the same thing.
Oh, it is
Yeah,
the same thing as the other one you had?
yeah, it's the same thing. And it just it's like it's almost like a heat map. It pretty much shows you where most of your like your uh price interest is. Yeah. Yeah. I've used this.
So
And
it
then it
can be beneficial though. I was trying to
uh-huh.
understand really how to read it.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, it tells you where your point of control is, right? So it tells you where your point of control is, and then it tells you like where most of your price action is coming from, right? So if you start noticing that price is moving in a certain direction, right? So if, say like price is moving up, you'll start realizing as you look at this chart, price starts going up here. Obviously, there's no buyers and sellers up here. So at some point, the price is going to come down. So, like the way I've always thought about a lot of this stuff, man, all this stuff kind of ties in together. It's like in some way, shape, or form, everything kind of comes back to the next thing. So you use this, you're essentially using, the order block feature. So I think it really just kind of comes down to what you feel more comfortable in using. I wouldn't necessarily use it like in conjunction with like the order block piece. Like one of them may work better for you than the
Mm-hmm.
other, but essentially they're kind of the same thing. But again, it just to me it's just more about what you feel comfortable with using. But that's how I've used it in the past.
Let me ask you this. So the
Okay.
red and the whatever that is, turquoise or blue,
Yeah.
is it saying red is how many sellers are in there and how many buyers?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. And then obviously it's going to change based off of the time frame that you use too. So like right now, right? We're down in this area, like this 120 range, right? So if you look down here, um, as you get lower down here, there's not really a whole lot of buyers or sellers at all. So what'll end up happening here is one of two things, right? So the price will get down here, even though you have an order block here that you have a lot of buyers at, or a buy zone, you still probably won't see a necessary you won't necessarily see a big run up in price action because you have no interest here, right? So what you would essentially do based off of this information is just kind of wait to see if buyers or sellers start stepping in. So kind of similar to this line right here, right? So now you kind of wait to see if more orders start flowing in on the buyer side or the seller side, and then you just kind of wait it out from there. Because if you're just looking at it from, say, okay, you're looking at it from just this and not necessarily paying attention to price action, they could start bringing in buyers after you've gotten in a put, just because you're thinking, okay, this is going to keep falling further down because they don't have any interest down here. But I think it's a good indicator to have just to kind of give you a visual on where the price action is. And with this, like your point of control um, between your buyers and sellers is way up here.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw somebody talk about this indicator and I was just interested.
Yeah.
I think what I do like about it though is, well, I guess what I would want to know is if it's a lagging indicator. Because
Yeah.
if it's a current indicator, this could be really, it could be beneficial. If I can see how many buyers and sellers, are at a certain point. Like if I knew that information right there as it was happening, or if this is after the fact.
Okay. So this is kind of after. Now, if you're looking for something like that, right? I'll give you something where you don't necessarily even need vision. Have you ever heard of what's the doggone thing called? Um, dang it. My brain just escaped me that quick. Um, do you know what time and sales is?
It's an indicator.
No, time and sales is more like it depends on the option that you pick when you started trading options. So
Oh no,
it's
no, 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 no.
or
I don't know
like
what it is.
or yeah, time and sales and level two. So pretty much what that is like, okay, you ever seen where, okay, like say you're at $120 right now. So what it does is it shows all the orders and stuff that's coming through and whether they're large block orders, if they're they're buyers orders, sellers orders, things like that. And it's constantly coming up on the screen. I don't know if any of y'all have seen that. Let me try to bring one up and I'll show you. I'll show you an example.
That sounds super beneficial.
And what it does, and this is how you get a lot of these guys that go. Can y'all see my screen with YouTube?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. So that's why you get these dudes that's out there that can go in and they can trade without having a chart. And
The
that's what's
Mavericks
called,
lost faith in Luca.
huh?
They say the Mavericks lost faith in Luca.
Oh yeah, man. Lost faith in them dudes, man. So okay, so this is what it is, right? So this is what time and sales is. So I'm gonna pause it. So essentially, you have your chart right here, you can see. And then what you have is all your price action. So obviously, like your green is your all your buyers orders, and then the number over here is your blocks. So this is in this is supposed to be in hundreds. So, and then usually over here it tells whether it was a NYSE order, it was American Stock Exchange order, whatever it is. And that's over here. And this is constantly rolling, right? Constantly,
Is this
constantly.
saying, is this so? Let's take 68. Is it saying so? And it's green. So there's
Yes.
more buyers than sellers?
Well, in this case, this particular order, there's 6,800 orders at this particular price right here. Somebody bought,
That were for buys, though. Not that's
yes,
not necessarily.
this is all for buys, everything that's green. And then, so obviously, if you're looking at this, right, you would say buyers outweigh sellers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got more green than red. So, but this is like when you see the price moving on your chart, this is what's happening in the background. So you see how the price is changing and moving, and then obviously your bigger numbers, your bigger blocks of orders on the tape, that stuff is going to affect how the price moves more. So if you pay attention to this in conjunction with like a chart, it's pretty much the same exact thing as what you see here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Where can you see that at though?
You have to it's something that you have to apply for.
Oh.
Like you go back in and it should be something on like Robinhood or Webull that has level two information. And like I said, all it is like, just watching price action. And she'll probably talk about it on here. Or he'll probably talk about it. So see. So see that big one right there?
So you just basically stand in trades based on the amount of greens or the reds that's coming in.
Yeah, and really it's that simple. It ain't a whole lot to it. And then you watch the speed of it, right? So okay, if you're in a call and you think that the price is going to continue upward, the price is going to keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Or if you're trying to get in on a bounce, all you got to do is start waiting for price to start slowing down on here. Okay, that means that the price is getting ready to reverse. And then all you do is ride it back up. Especially if it's around an area that you're used to seeing as support or resistance, just depending on what it is. So that's yeah, that's essentially the same thing as this. So usually by the time that you see this right here, by the time you see this, this is just kind of telling you what's in the system right now, like what's in the queue right now. That don't necessarily mean that that's what it's going to be when you get up, when you get in here in the morning. But this is where things are right now as of this time right here. So,
I remember seeing that somewhere. They asked me about level 2 market data.
yeah. You seen this before?
No, that what you mentioned earlier, that level
Oh,
2
time and stuff.
market data. Robinhood asked me about that one time. I remember seeing
Uh-huh.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the same thing. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a good tool to use, but it's more yeah, it's more you'll kind of you can use it and I think it's beneficial and it just kind of helps give you a visual of what you're seeing here. That way you know that you're kind of jumping in on the right side of a trade. So you want to look at anything else? I'm a I'm gonna pass it over to DP here in a minute. If y'all
Oh
think it,
yes.
oh, what's up?
Actually, we ain't gotta
Hello?
look at meta. I don't like at NTRA.
You said NTRA?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna move that I'll move that out of the way real quick. All right. So let's see what we got Chion with this. All right. All right. I never charted this before, so give me a sec. All right.
No, you good. So what I'm seeing is I'm thinking 176.87 obviously seems like an important level for it. If it falls through here, we probably see 175 or a break up, maybe back to that 182 or 179, 180 level.
Okay. Based off of what I see, right? I look at so I'm trying to look at it a couple of different ways, right? So I'm looking at the fact that it has a bullish engulfing, it's back at a level where it went to it broke, but failed, right? So now it's back at that
Mm-hmm.
same level. So now you got a drop base rally right here. Um, and this is on a weekly time frame, right? So all right, let me line that up right, Sean. Okay. So you got a drop. So it dropped here, based here, rallied here, right? So now you're back at the same level that it rejected from 2 weeks ago. So what you want to see first is and this is just how I look at it, right? So you want to see first, you want to see an attempt at one like 180, at 182, 183, right? So if this pops up overnight, you want to kind of see how it goes into that range, right? So I would be looking at 182 because it closed at 176. So I'd look for an upward move first, or just to see if it continues to go upward. If it don't, now you're looking at your downside movement. So you know that one where are we at 176 is your support level. I would be looking for the next level down at what 170 ish. What do you see differently?
I see exactly that.
Okay. So this is your next, so your next spot down is what, 175. Then you got another level down at Yeah, 175. This the 4-hour joint, right? So you got next level down about 172 on the 4-hour. So 172. Then yeah, that's what I see. Oh, hang on real quick. Hey, hello.
So this could potentially fall back into that buy zone and bounce or
Okay, awesome.
go
Thank you. You too.
to hell.
Bye. Okay. So yeah, I see one. Yeah, because that's a level. Yeah, 172 is a level. And then you work your way down from there. So I would look, yeah, this is on the hourly. So yeah, I would be looking to see how it goes into back to that all-time high level. And then it's really going to depend on how this is medical too. So I would see how SPY causes everything to react, and then I'd make a move on that. But the first thing I would be looking at is an upside move to see if it goes back to that all-time high level, and then see if it rejects off of that or if it keeps running. But the fact that it was all the way up there a couple of weeks ago. Now we're back here and it rejected again. It could come down, but I would be looking at upside until it proves otherwise. Because you still sitting over your all your moving averages too. So until it starts kind of coming down here, breaking down your moving averages, I would, I would kind of stay on the for me, I would stay on the upside until it start breaking down. So, but yeah, I can
No, that's
see,
perfect. That's perfect because that's what I saw too, D. So I appreciate that.
yeah, that ain't no problem. I would I'd lean on that part first, but yeah, this this pin bar here, that would be the kind of first sign. So you can look below what's that 175.6. If it start kind of opening up here and now you see weakness behind this, then then there you go. But I mean, right here, you gotta see that next candle setup after this. But I mean, it looks weak because he came here, rejected, came back here, rejected again.
And that's a crazy bearish pin bar.
Uh-huh. So yeah, pay attention to that area right there. And because they could gap this up overnight, but then it can open up right under here. I don't know how this moves, but if you start seeing weakness here, you can catch that to the downside, or you already know that it got rejected here and here. So if you're patient enough, you can catch that whole move down.
What's the ATRD? I can't see it on the
Uh,
bottom left.
760.
Seven. Ooh, that's a good move.
Yeah. So, and honestly, that 183 brings you down. That's a 760, 83, 7. That brings you right back to where you are. And that's where it ended the other day, right? So it hit here on
Yep.
Friday, 183, right?
Yep.
$7. A $7 move right there. So
I'm gonna keep my eyes on it.
yeah. Yeah, I would set an alert up here and I would set an alert right underneath where the pin bar landed.
I saw some other guys, and it was another trading group. They were talking about this when somebody made some pretty good money off that run up recently.
Yeah. Shoot. I'm gonna set an alert on that. So I'll have opportunity to catch something tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I do have an alert set on both sides too. I've been doing that more lately too, D. So thanks for that advice.
Yeah.
I've been setting alerts for breakouts or breakdowns.
Yeah, because I think it helps to have scenarios on both sides. That way you prepare for both. And where I learned that from was from Felony, man. And what he would do, like he would have setups for both. That way, you're kind of open-minded in your approach because I think we can all kind of tend to get a little have a little bias And with that bias, that that's kind of put me in some bad situations. So I try to be more intentional about looking at the trade from both sides. Because you thinking, okay, it's gonna break out, and then you try to force it to break out, and then it don't.
That's how you get clapped.
That's you get clapped down. So yeah, so that's what I do. But y'all want to look at anything else?
That's the last one I had.
All right.
The only one I even got on my radar for tomorrow is Meta, because Meta's at an interesting spot too.
Mm-hmm.
Just keeping an eye on that though.
All right. So check, right? So I got that. That's like one of the main ones I'm looking at tomorrow or for the week. So these these bolder yellow lines right here, these are the immediate support and resistance levels that I got, right? So this is where we're sitting at the moment. So obviously we know that Meta made a nice run up from earnings on Wednesday, continued into Thursday, and the only reason it pulled back on Friday was because the whole market pulled back. So you up here at this 689 level. First immediate support is 680. Under that, it's like that 660, 650 level, right? But immediately it's here. So what I'd be looking for is a bounce from like the 680 to 660 level, maybe even down to 650. If you get down to 640, that's definitely going to be a bounce area. So I would say immediate 680. Even if it start pulling back, it's fine because it's got a $40 average true rate. But your biggest support is 640. And this was the breakout before earnings. So this is why I know that this is a solid bounce level. So if for some reason tomorrow we gap down and we get back down to like 655, 650, 640, 640 would be like my level that I would definitely bounce this from. But initially, I'm looking at this at 680 to like 660 or above 700. And granted, the price at some point was above 700, but it never held. But 700 is that only level that held up. So above 700 or like I said, 660, 650-ish, definitely 640 for real, for real. If it ever get back to 640, like that's gonna be it'll probably run back up to 680, 690 easy. So now above 700, I'd be looking at this to hit 720, probably even 730.
It rejected this past week at 716.17.
Yeah. So that should be an area that you could take profit at too. So that's what I see with that. I ain't interested in nothing downside with Meta until it start breaking down below 640. If it start breaking down below 640, then and like say I'm in a call at 640, like I would wait to see if it holds below, but then I'd be looking to get the heck out to the upside. Because that means everything else is breaking down too. But yeah, so that's pretty much a look at. And like I said, like I was telling Chris before you came on, I'm looking at there's a few more that I'm looking at, but what I'll do with them is I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna switch it over to D here in a minute. But yeah, I want to really break those down because those will be good swing trades because we don't have a lot of economic news this coming week outside of earnings. So that's why I put most of it on the video, and that way, like most of the focus could be on earnings for this week because you got like Palantir, AMD, Amazon, Google, Eli Lilly. You got a bunch of big hitters. So
we definitely got some economic news for sure.
yeah.
With those tariffs, man.
Yep. No doubt. So I'm gonna leave you to it. Uh-huh.
Now, I just want to, talk a little bit about, the tariffs that the administration placed on Canada, China, and Mexico, man, and get y'all thoughts on you know, just what y'all think about it.
All right.
Um, just my initial thoughts. Um, it's obviously it's terrible for consumers, right? Like it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt um, each and every, middle class, poor class American for sure. Um,
Yep. Price is gonna go up.
exactly, which therefore, increases inflation, decreases purchasing power, right? And on a selfish standpoint, I'm completely excited. I'm ecstatic for
The
it.
Bitcoin.
To be 100%, I'm ecstatic for it. I'm all for it, bro. Tax everybody. F it. You know what I'm saying? That's just my selfish vested interest, because I'm Bitcoin only. But I mean, as a global economic superpower, man, I just think we kind of going about it the wrong way, man. I mean, we already know who he is and how he is, and just trying to strong arm these other countries into pretty much bending the knee, and if they don't participate, then kind of screw you. I don't know if you guys have already seen that Canada has already, you know, pretty much said, "All right, you guys are going to put tariffs on us. We're going to put tariffs on you, right?" So, I think they're going to put tariffs on like 100, a little bit over $100 billion worth of goods. So, yeah, it's finna get real grimy out here for sure, man, for sure. So I just wanted to get y'all initial thoughts on what y'all think about the tariffs and how how y'all think that situation is going to play out.
Man, I think this whole situation is going is it's tricky, but it's interesting to see from like this being on this side of it, like me actually paying attention to like how everything is happening and the way the market is moving and how like how everything sold off when Trump said something about the tariffs. Was it last week, sometime last week, and everything kind of like dumped a little bit.
Yeah.
I think, and then spot pumped. But I just feel like to be in this position right now, we got to understand like Elon was talking, he was saying they about to invoke some temporary hardship to ensure some long term prosperity. So it's up to us right now to pay attention to what's going on and just play our position, like you said. Like you for it, I'm for it too. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know exactly what's going on, I gotta position myself. So
Mm,
that's how I feel.
right.
Hey, do y'all know what this Doge thing is? Elon pushing. Trump just endorsed.
What
The
what
Department of Government
efficiency?
Efficiency,
Enforcement.
Department of Government
That-
Efficiency or something like that.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he come out with
Yeah.
something else? What's going on with that?
I don't even really know, Porter, man, but they said it's about to change the landscape of money as we know it.
So it's
Well,
it's hilarious, man. So I don't know if y'all keep up with the national deficit, but there's a website, an official website for the national deficit, and Doge. Doge now has like a countdown clock to like how much money they've been saving the government since they've been in that role. And so the clock counts down, like how much money they save. It's, it's crazy, but yeah, I mean, from the federal hiring freeze to now, Elon has gained access to, um, security information on Americans and stuff like that. So and I've always said this, privately. I truly believe Elon is a lot more dangerous than Trump. That's just my personal opinion. Um, just look at, the way he's moved and everything that he owns, from Starlink to SpaceX to Tesla to you name it. He really kind of has every single market in America cornered, and he's not even American. So it's really, and he's literally in the White House right now. Kind of, Trump has given him free reign to kind of do what he wants to do, which is
No,
scary.
no, no. Literally everything, dude. Like I
Yep.
saw an article that said he had like seized their computer systems and locked out the government officials.
Yep,
Dude, what is going on?
yep.
Yep.
Yeah, OPM.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's the thing about it, man. It's like, okay, people think it's just affecting government employees, but in actuality, it's affecting everybody. You know, like you got, because think about it from Elon's standpoint. Okay, you have access to all this information. He's, it's really a conflict of interest because you're you got government contracts, but now you're able to see, you're able to go in and see who else is competing for these same contracts.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So you got a leg up on the entire world as far as what it is that they're putting money into, who's bidding what. Like that's a game changer for him.
I mean, you already see it in real time, right? Where I believe it was SpaceX and I think it was another company I can't remember right now, but they already pretty much came together and formed like a teaming agreement to bid on government contracts. And I'm like, bro, it's just crazy to me, man. Like, and there's so much that's happening in real time, man. It's crazy. It's crazy to see it like all unravel and really unfold right, you know, in front of our eyes, man. And I think, and like I said, for selfish reasons, I really truly believe like this is the perfect storm for Bitcoin because everything is going Bitcoin's way, bro. And I love it. Like I said, on a selfish tip, but hey, man, we'll see what happens, man. But it's definitely about to get worse before it gets better in America. That's for sure, man. So I mean, this is about to affect oil, gas, steel, interest rates, houses being built. Everyday goods. They were already expensive before under the last administration. Now, who knows? What it's about to be now. So
Yep.
it's people really about to be pinching pennies out here. And you got to think what people don't even think about with tariffs, right? Like obviously, those tariffs affect companies, right? And what do companies do? They're going to pass that tax right on to you, the
Yep.
Yep.
consumer, right? And it's like you working your 9 to 5, you don't get a pay raise, right? Your pay raise not even your check not even keeping up with inflation. Inflation is steadily eating away at it. So it's going to be a lot worse for everyday Americans, man.
Yeah,
Honestly, everyone all over the world, to be completely honest. What'd you say, Chris?
no, I was saying, yeah, just like that example that Chris Johnson was talking about, that 5 grand buying a house for your great great
Yeah.
grandfather. Yo,
Right.
$5,000. It can't even buy you a Van Cleef now.
Yeah.
Shoot,
Yeah.
that don't make
Nah,
that don't make
that's
buy you a
real, man.
pack of bubble gum. You know what I'm saying? And a soda
Yep.
pop.
Yep.
That's about it.
Hey, bro,
That's real.
5 grand could get you a used car, bro.
Mm-mm.
You can't even buy
Man.
that now. That's crazy.
Like shoot, a couple years ago, man, I helped my daughter buy her first car, man. And that thing was, and it was a used car, and it was almost 7 grand.
Man.
So yeah,
Crazy, bro.
yeah. Now, I oh, you still got something going? I wanted to share something with y'all real quick.
No, no, go ahead, man.
Oh,
No.
along them same lines. I know I told Chris this story. So check it, right? All right. So I'm gonna tell you part of the reason why I'm on this Bitcoin train, right? For me personally. So, all right, I retired from the military in 2015. And before that, when you get to your 15-year mark in the military, they allow you to take part of your retirement, in exchange for promising that you'll do, up to 20 years. So in the back of my mind, okay, I already know I'm gonna do this. Cool. Now, around this same time, this is when you started hearing grumblings about this Bitcoin thing. And at that time, Bitcoin was like 2 cents, 3 cents, or whatever it was, and everybody thought it was a scam. So now here I am. I got 22 grand, like right off the rip. I get to my 15-year mark, they cut me a check for 22 grand. I took that money and I put it into the S&P. And granted, okay, S&P, over that time frame, average about, like 15-17% a year. And that money did pretty good. But think about it. Imagine me taking that same 22 grand, and I already know the calculation because I did it. I could be that black billionaire on Forbes right now, for real, for real. And okay, but here I missed it the first time, so you would think, okay, now I got more information. I'm working overseas with a bunch of dudes for Lockheed Martin, and this is all we talk about over there is crypto, but most of it was Ripple, but Bitcoin was kind of the thing too. And I remember setting up a Coinbase account, and I was putting in money, and then it would drop down. I take the money out. So the other day, I did a calculation. Oh, I told Chris this story. I did a calculation, right? So me and my family, we moved into our house in 2021. And every month I put a certain amount of money aside. I put in the date that we moved into the house and the amount that I put aside every month. If I had done that from the time that we moved in to the 31st of January, the house would be paid for. What I've been trying to do anyway. You see what I'm saying? Just off of just putting money there and just leaving it alone. So like all I'm saying is that, yeah, okay, people, they kind of try to deter you from but I want you to also think about it like this. Think about there being a reason why. Like, okay, nobody wants me to put money into this. Why not? Read more. And then if you make your decision not to do it based off of what you read, cool. But like, don't just okay. Well, hey, I don't know nothing about it. Not like read into this stuff because it gets to the point where it gets really, 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 really interesting and really like, okay, dang, I might need to like consider this because the dollar is losing value by the second.
Rob and Chris, y'all want to chime in?
Yeah, nah. I mean, I'm there. Like my whole focus has shifted. And like I always question like, what is the point in me putting money into the bank? Like what is the point in me making money, putting my money into the bank and gaining like whatever? They may advertise, oh, put $10,000 in, but you can't touch it for a year and you'll get 5%. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I'm minding my P's and Q's when I was coming up, and I did what I was supposed to do, and I'm in a pretty good position right now. But it's like, what's next? And it's like the whatever the way of the world that they have taught us. That's not it, man. It's not, and it's like this is a no brainer to me. So my goal right now is to eradicate all of my debt, get rid of all of my debt, and I'm just dumping everything into Bitcoin. And like I was talking to my dad about it. I was like, look, Dad, I said, if I'm wrong, I'll do what they told us to do. I'll work till I'm 65 years old and I'll freaking put money away in my 401k. That's what I'll do.
Well, it's so funny, man. I had sent an article into the Discord earlier this week, and I guess the DOJ, they had a case of a small business owner, and
Oh yeah.
they essentially really repo they repo, but it's 50 grand, and they pretty much said that money don't belong to you because it's not considered property. And that was funny to me. And their explanation was that, oh, because we print money, we actually issue out money and we print money, it can't be considered yours, so we own it, so we can do whatever. We essentially can take your money anytime that we want. And
That's
they,
insane.
yeah, and they literally said it in court. And what I always say in the Discord, man, like, just stop letting them play in your face, man. Like, the proof is in the pudding, the writing is right there in front of you. They're telling you that they print money, and we work so hard. We work all of our lives for something that's not even real. So and people kill each other for something that ain't even real, bro. Like it's crazy, man.
That they
So
make for 3 cents.
yeah,
Yeah, like I like even like I'm telling you, like this whole Discord is just like it's just like a big eye opener because it's just like you can't go to the bank if you got 50 grand in the bank. You can't go to the bank and pull 50K out. And
yep,
guess what? If you want to transfer 50K, it's gonna take 2 to 3 business days sometimes for you
facts.
to, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yo, it's
Yep,
really the money is not ours. It's not. Like they just like you said, they just printing it. And it's like we can't continue to let them play in our face, like you said. We can't. We gotta do something different because if not, we just gonna be like the rest of them. That's it.
yep. Well, I think
I do got a question though. So y'all truly believe that putting your money in Bitcoin is safer?
I 1,000,000% do, because I control it. No one else controls it, right? Like I don't have to go through a bank. I don't have to go through a third party. I don't have to deal with anyone else. You know what I mean? So even with me, like with my girl, I we just did a test transaction when I initially set up my strike app. I sent her Bitcoin literally as soon as I clicked the send button, it went straight to her. I didn't have to get up, drive, go to the bank, verify my identification, yada yada yada, take all of those steps. No, it cuts all of that stuff out. Once I buy it, it's mine, no one else's. And so I don't have to worry about my credit score being a 750. I don't have to worry about whether or not I got collections on my account or I got liens and foreclosure. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff, man. Um, I really do believe that it's a lot more safer. It's just better. It's a lot better. It's way more efficient, man. So
Yeah, they can't step on your Bitcoin like they do that dollar
like, and
three,
I
four
don't know,
times.
right? And I don't even know if y'all heard Chris. This was years ago. He posted a video. Navy Fed shut down his account because he wanted to transfer money to buy Bitcoin, and it was like, oh no, we don't do Bitcoin
Yep.
here, and they shut down his bank account. Like his own bank shut down his account.
And it's
Damn.
assistant too.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a credit union, right? Like credit unions are, not for profit, right? They're supposed to be for the people, and they shut down his account. Like, come on, man. Like, so none of these institutions, I don't care who it is, like they don't have our best interests at heart, and we got to take it upon ourselves to do that. So that's my whole thought process about it, man. It's just, you know what I mean. So
I'm only asking Pete because man, I've been going back and forth, man. I just don't know what to do. I've been praying about it.
mhm.
Leave my money in these freaking 4 banks, or I don't know what to do, man.
Man, what I tell people, I say, just educate yourself, right? And if you feel that conviction about it, do it, bro. Like I can't, I don't expect anyone to jump off on the deep end like me, right? Because I had that level, I still have that level of conviction to where I continue to educate myself and I really believe in it. I'm like, yo, this is freaking genius. But even if you don't ever reach that point in your life, I still say still allocate at least a small percentage in there. But until you get to that point, I mean, do what's right, do what's best for you and your family. You know what I'm saying? But
I will say though, man, your insight in the group has definitely helped me kind of, take a second look at Bitcoin because I've heard y'all say this a couple of times. Like, I've looked at the price of Bitcoin, and granted, I know they introduced everything now is fractional, but I
yeah,
still be looking at it like, man, I mean, what now? It's 83,000 when I initially, and then I remember when it was 58, and I was like, man, I don't know, man. It could at any moment disappear. I just don't know what it is. I guess since it's not as established. You know, I kind of always kind of had an eyebrow raised to it, but I don't know, man. Y'all have definitely kind of helped me change my mind a little bit about it, because now I've been thinking about it a lot more, and I mean a lot more.
And
Like at least taking a portion of every check and throwing it in there.
you definitely should, bro. Definitely do it. And what's so funny is like, you know, and me and Dimitri talk about this a lot. Like sometimes, you know, sometimes the answer is be right in your face, man. It be right in your face, and you know, us as especially in our community, man, we want to say, oh, it's a scam, or we, you know, kind of skeptical about certain things. And I'm like, bro, y'all seen my whole journey, y'all seen my entire journey in the Discord. Y'all see, I literally would post every single time I bought. You know what I mean? I bought
That's fact. Yeah, it's
majority
true.
of my Bitcoin between the 40 and 60K range. You know what I mean? Now it's at what 99, 100K. And I still continued, I still have that same level of conviction when I was buying at those 40 to 60K ranges as I do right now. Like, so for me, I never wavered, I never folded. I'm gonna keep buying to the end of time, bro. So
So we got what? Not till 2028, the next
yeah,
halving.
the next halving. Yeah, but like for me, it's honestly, bro, and I'm gonna be completely honest. Like I've never felt this free financially ever in my life. And this is coming from someone who literally like used to trade heavy, bro. And like trade stocks, trade options. Like I used to be in the stock game heavy. And once I switched over to just buying Bitcoin and touching grass and going about my day, bro, like this is the most free that I've ever felt in my life, bro. Because I don't have to worry about them printing more money. I don't have to worry about, oh man, I don't have enough dollars in my pocket. I can't afford this or I can't, like I don't worry about that stuff, man. Because I buy everything with Bitcoin. So I don't even care. I don't even care, bro. I buy Bitcoin and go about my day, man. So it's a very like freeing and relaxing feeling knowing that you ain't got to stress no more, bro. Cause like you know, in our community, bro, like that's one of the reasons why we have to do like all these side hustles and all these different things, bro, is because our money is broken. And nobody ever really thinks about it like that. Like the financial system and our money is broken. That's why we have to do work 3, 4 jobs just to make ends meet, man. So
That's not normal.
it exactly.
Right.
No,
Unfortunately.
Exactly. But we've been doing it for so long that they really kind of brainwashed us and conditioned us to believe that it's normal, right? Even me, like I'm like, man, like I gotta work my 9 to 5, and then I gotta have something outside of my 9 to 5. All right, well, let me trade stocks, and then I gotta have something outside of my stocks. Well, let me start a business. Then I gotta have, you know what I mean? Like, and it's too much. It's too much, bro.
yep, yeah. No, I'm in 100% agreement with you on that part, man. Like I've, I don't mind being like open and transparent about, the financial part, because it's like I think you don't know what you don't know. But like when somebody starts kind of putting the information out there and starts throwing it out and you hear it enough, it makes you curious enough to read it and find out. And like I've been a sponge lately, man. Just you know, I've known about Bitcoin and and everything, man. But like I'm that dude, man. It's like, okay, I got a business here, got a band pool here, got this and that, and just on the move. You just got to feel like you're doing something, but then you end up being right back in the same place. And I'll tell you, man, like since I've like been intentional about, about putting money away in the Bitcoin and using it to pay bills and stuff like that, dude, it's been like I don't have a lot of worry. Even when the price pulls back, like, okay, let me ask you a question. All right, everybody's put money in a savings account, right?
Yep.
Hmm.
I don't care if it's like a regular savings account or high yield savings account or whatever. Everybody's put money in some type of savings account, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Have you ever questioned when the rate changes?
Nope.
So why would you question it if you're looking at Bitcoin strictly from a savings perspective? Why would you question when the price goes down? If your whole goal is to use it for saving,
True.
you see what I'm saying?
Yo,
So
D.
yeah, what's
No,
up?
I was gonna say I do you one better. Like up until like you started teaching me and learning, like I never even paid attention to my 401k, and I know that joint fluctuates crazy,
Yep,
crazy, and it's like the money comes out every month. It goes
right.
in there, whatever my company matches, it goes in there and it just sits in there. And then every now and again, I may or may not open the statement up and look at it like, oh, wow. But guess what? Now that I know how the market fluctuates, I know that joint drops crazy. I know it
Yep.
drops
It
crazy.
does. And it's not really, man, Chris, mine has been the same or about the same level for about 3 years. Recently, so y'all, this dude Don, because Don, I tell Don about everything that we're doing, because Don is this white boy, he's in IT, he's my boy though, but he's a big investor too. He all of my 401k, Spectrum had it all in JP Morgan Chase, which don't really move anymore because it's been at the same point for years. So I took 25,000 out. Maybe this was November, I think. October, November. I put it in XPX, and it made more than JP Morgan made in the 8 years I've been at Spectrum. In 2 months.
Crazy. And just think about the people who, because I would like to say all employers just put their employees in target date funds. So
Yep.
just think about all the people who never actually went in their 401k account and changed their fund allocation.
Yep.
You know how much money you've lost over all of those years, bro?
That was me. That was
I
me.
already lost a whole lot.
That was me.
Crazy amount.
Yep.
And Dimitri, just about like TSPs, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Those retirement
Yeah.
date funds.
Oh yeah. And they're trash. They're trash.
Just imagine those people not
Yep.
changing. And of course, the military don't educate you on this stuff, right?
No.
Like, they don't want you to know that, but
No.
well, you
They
gotta
bring a
figure
bunch.
it out
No.
yourself.
I'll tell you this. They bring a bunch of BS guys in there.
Yep.
That they are on a script. This is a script that they talk to you about TSP with, and they encourage you to put your money in the target fund.
Mm.
I'm like, screw that, man. I got a homegirl. She works for the post office in South Carolina, and she's been with the post office ever since 2002. Her money's been in the G fund and TSP since then. I'm like, man, and the G fund for y'all, G fund is like having your money in a high yield savings. That's it.
That's it.
For
Yep.
20 years, man.
Yeah, that's crazy work.
So it's just unlearning. It's unlearning that stuff. Like Rob, I understand like you're being skeptical, but it's just like, bro, like it's your money. You know what I'm saying? And you got to educate yourself. You know what I'm saying on what's important to you and what makes sense to you. Because like I said before, like managing my own 401k and like looking and reallocating and doing different things, I never did it because I didn't know any better. I had no clue. But now I know. So it's like I can't continue to make that excuse and I can't move forward that way. Can't do it.
I know better now, so I gotta do better.
Yep. And you have tools. It's like everybody has tools. Like, I mean, they make this stuff so accessible now, right? But like here's the problem. And I'm not talking about any of you guys, because y'all are here, y'all are always present in some way, shape, or form. But you got dudes, man, and Chris and Dee, they'll tell you, like, I got a Facebook page, right? And it's the same exact thing that we put on the Discord. And like you might get like one response. But like you'll have people in the background that'll be like, "Oh man, hey, I want you to show me this," and then you just wait. And most of them don't. Most of them won't ever say anything else about it.
Yeah.
And part of the reason is it's like, well, how do you know that and I don't? Or it's over their head. Or you might have somebody that might come to you one time. I do it for free, right? And most people, you'll tell them, and they'll come. Like I had two girls at different times come to me one time, and I guess they expected to be like this magic pill or something like that. And it's like, but it's over their heads, man. It's over their heads, and you know they think it's difficult, but it's really not.
Right. Right.
So
And I feel the same way about Bitcoin, right? Like I feel like especially in our community, people ain't really gonna really start getting into it until it becomes really mass adopted.
yep,
Right. So like honestly, like now, like we still kind of on that early adoption curve, right? But until it kind of reaches that peak to where you can go in stores and use Bitcoin to buy, or you can pump your gas and use Bitcoin and things like that until it becomes like that normalized, like a normalized Bitcoin society. That's when people gonna really start like, oh my god, like I need to get it. This is the new wave, blah blah blah. And I'm like, nah, bro, like start now. Like start now. Educate yourself, read up on it, and get into it, man, before it's too late. Man, it just like Rob and Chris said, bro. It just comes down to taking ownership of your finances, bro. That's really what it is. And this is coming from someone who's about to graduate with a finance degree. This is one of the main reasons why I studied finance was to really teach people the non-traditional way of finance. To be completely honest, that's why I'm doing it. And I've been teaching people about finance for well over 10 years now. I manage a bunch of my family and friends' investment accounts, and I've been doing this for quite a while now. So I'm not telling people this just to, blow smoke. I'm like, nah, this is really coming from someone, who does it, So
yeah, yeah, man. It's because think about if you just look at stuff based off of the level that you learned growing up. Okay, everybody would still just be throwing money into a savings account and expecting to be, to be rich, right? Because I never learned about investing. I didn't learn about investing until I came in the military. I used to work with a guy, man, Don Clark. He had about 6 kids,
mm,
and he was the one that put the battery in my back. Okay, not you. Yeah, it kind of put the battery in my back about invest, and I kind of took off from there.
mm-mm.
Sorry about that. So
Um, no, we got bad service right now, but yeah, I mean, it's like I said, man. I just want people to educate themselves, man, and do what's best for you and your family. Do what's best, for whatever you think is best for you and your family, man. Like I'm not here to persuade one way or the other. Whatever you do, like Chris Johnson said, bro, whatever you do, if you got some hot side hustles or whatever, use that money and store it in Bitcoin, man. So, but I really didn't have nothing, man. I like I said, I just wanted to, talk a little bit about the tariffs, see what's, kind of get y'all input on that, and a little bit about Bitcoin, man. So, Dimitri, Rob, or Chris, if y'all got anything else, man, I don't really have anything else.
Yeah, I'm good. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
yeah, bro. Hey, anytime, man. Like, one thing that I was tripping on before, but I'm not that worried about now. I'm like, oh man, we gotta get more people. You know what? Here's how I look at it, man. I look at it like we bless the ones that's here,
Right,
and
right.
and we continue to do that, man. And by if it's God's will, man, then then it'll run up. If not, hey, you know what? They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out on the back end. They'll be like, all right, man, dang. Oh man, y'all been doing this all along. Why y'all ain't say nothing? All right, well, hey,
Right.
you
Right.
know. So, but yeah, I appreciate y'all, man, for always showing up.
For sure, man. Well, man, fellas, y'all have a great week, man. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed, man. And, We'll chop it up in the Discord, fellas.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
y'all.
All right, y'all be easy.
All right, have a good week, yo.
All right, y'all too.
All right.